Hello, everybody. This is Valet Games, back literally minutes after we just left off. We're going to the manor to find my little sister. I'm gonna have to find a better editing software to use for these. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Oh, hell yeah. So a lot of the problem with games from this era is they have graphics like this, but the gameplay is always like turn-based or simple action RPG running around and just mashing Y. Like, no, I want full dodge roll, sword swing, shield, all of it in a game that looks like this. If you can help me with that, leave a comment. Ring my line, ring my bell, ring a ding ding. Chobin is the name. Chobin is number one assistant. Dr. Kamiko, only assistant, so Chobin has to be number one assistant. Do I have a Pokemon? Oh, I guess I do. Can I just... I can. I can just 1v1. No sand attacks, no nothing. See, graphics like this, but the gameplay's turn-based. Most of the games from this era, the gameplay is limited by their hardware, whereas the graphics were trying to get the most out of the hardware. And that probably goes for every generation of games. But indie games, Steam gaming, it's such a bigger atmosphere now where it's not just we have to make, what's popular and get it onto the system that's currently the strongest. You can make a game with graphics like these with improved gameplay now that the technology's jumped 20 years. In any era of game. We could go back and make a PlayStation 3 game with better gameplay because the technology is easier now. At least not being a programmer coder. That's my theory. I'm sure it's still a whole ton of work. I don't want to take that away from anyone, but it has to be easier than it was when they were making it 20 years ago. We don't have to fit the entire game on a floppy anymore. You can add gameplay stuff, you can add this, you can add that, but I still want the soul to be the same. I still want these style graphics, the bright poppy GameCube era colors, PS2 era colors. Just I don't and it might just be nostalgic, but I really like the art style. And it's more so about like take the art style and make a game with the art style and less about like the kind of game I want. There's plenty of games for me like that, but I'm looking for the aesthetic too. I don't just want, Elden Ring's fun, but Elden Ring gets dark and depressing. I want something like this that's bright and colorful and it can still be dark fantasy, but fun. I want a fun fantasy game like this. That's imagine if you've ever played The Witcher, imagine the Blood and Wine expansion like as a GameCube game, and that's kind of what I'm talking about. We're like bright, silly, colorful, kind of still dark fantasy, but this era graphics, this era style game with really tight action RPG combat. And you could really focus in on the gameplay because, again, you're not trying to make graphics as realistic as possible for the PlayStation 6. You're using PlayStation 2, GameCube era graphics. You're just making the game a better game. If I knew how to program and code and all that, I'd do it. If anyone wants to team up, you know where I'm at, though. I think it could do gangbusters, and if it doesn't, like, it's the game I want to play. I should at least, if it ever gets done, I'll at least, like, make the game I want to play. But that's like 20 years from now. I need money, I need a whole bunch more knowledge, I need friends who know how to do that. I need, it's not a solo project. But that's also where it's like, well, what am I offering in that situation? I pretty good. I think I have pretty good ideas. I can write, you know. I I have a pretty good grip on what players want, what's a fun game, what isn't, like the mechanics, all that's I have the knowledge, I don't have the skills or the know-how, and that's where it's like that's kind of shitty if you're just like I don't know how to do any of this. I'm going to get people to do it for me and then still say it's my thing, you know? It's like, I don't know. Maybe that's just how business works, where it goes, hey, I want to make a game. I want 6 guys that know how to make a game. And then we make a game and it's a team. Machine part he needed is ready. You should come get it anytime. There's my sister. I know the first one's all about like you're stealing Pokemon and stuff, but I think you're X Team Rocket or X evil bad guy in the first game. He rides a motorcycle across the desert. I don't know what Jovi and my deal are. Oh, do I have to talk to the doctor too? We go through here? Nope. All right, back to the lab we go. We got an email. How do I check that? There. Let's go away from the scary Dr. Egad tower. This isn't Luigi's mansion. What are we doing here? Back to HQ lab. I guess he gets a little scooter, but the first one's like a bad boy on the desert bike. Yay! Oh, that's my mom? But, yeah. So if anyone, has the patience and is willing to work with an idiot who doesn't know about coding and programming, I'd love to make that game, get it made, turn it into a real thing. I think it's got legs. I think it could go places. I've got the ideas in my head. I need people to help me turn them into reality. You have anything new for me? That's like my dream project. Like, if this blows up and makes me a ton of money, not that I think YouTube is the most profitable thing or that's why I'm doing it, but if it does, the dream scenario, this works out and then I get to make my own game and then that works out and then I don't know. Be nice to get married. That'd be cool. Like that's an impossibility. That's more just like a timing thing. Once I get everything figured out and get settled. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing. Like what do I want to do? But it's gone to a point that's like, well, I need to just be making money and I want to just be making money, so I should just get a job and then hang out for a while. Where am I supposed to go now? Not that way, apparently. So, Shadow Pokemon and that whole thing technically comes from this game. I always thought that was a Pokemon Go thing. You know what would be sick if, since they went through and repatched the code for like Fire Red to add the passes in, it would be sick if they finally give us a Shadow Lugia. But I don't think they're gonna. Equip the snag machine and then we'll try it out. That'll be at the end of this video. We're making good progress here. I like to keep these shorter, so like I said, let me know if you like them longer. Let me know if you like them shorter. My biggest video has like 100 views. I don't think people care that much, but maybe one day we'll get there. Who knows? Maybe one of you cares. And if you do, let me know. Yeah, Pokeball time. Or region. Oh, I'm supposed to run out there. Okay, well, they took off with the director, so I think this will be a good spot to end, and then next time we can go save the director as I wiggle around here in my chair. You guys know the drill, though, as we wrap this one up. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Let me know if you're playing this. Let me know what you want to see more of. Any way you interact with the video helps me out. I'm just here hanging out most days, so yeah. Until the next one, you guys know the drill. This has been Valet. Thank you very much, and hopefully I'll catch you sometime soon.